Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, how are my royalty, my lovelies, my beauties? I hope you're doing well. I hope you are enjoying yourselves. Hmm. Okay, so let's get some scorching hot, boiling tea or cold, but hold the ice. At least for now. I'm going to be talking a lot, well, about a lot of subjects, but especially about haters though. I'm going to be talking a lot about haters, a lot about basic Becky's and the hatred they try to throw at people, and they try to ruin others' lives out of enjoyment and or gaslighting, or because mm, I don't really have too many nice things to say, but okay. Here I'm gonna do some more talk about if you're gonna break up with somebody. Because I don't know what is wrong with some of you, especially women, especially white women. Okay, because have I ever had a situation with a black woman? And even when I dated people of color, like I'm like, did I ever do I think it is this part of white privilege? Do some of you white women do like you break up with your man, but you really want them and you think that they can't find better? And so, like, you break up because you think you're scaring them. You think they're gonna crawl back to you, like, baby, baby, please take me back. Oh my gosh, I can only have you, and you're the best thing, and you're the best I ever had, and I just can't live without you, baby, baby, please, please don't leave me. Oh, come on, please don't find anyone else, blah, 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 blah. Something. But then it turns out they do find better, that they do find at least happiness for that moment, or you never know, because I've seen it happen. I mean, even with Hollywood, you in reality shows you see it happen. Even on Reddit you see it happen, which I'm gonna get back. I've been saying this for a while, but yes, like I was looking at some Reddit stories. Oh, especially ironically, a very familiar situation, that someone who keeps throwing haterade at me, they're going to hate it. A spoonful of hate in a cup of tea patty. Yeah. It's sweet and bitter and delicious. But okay. For one, yeah, when I break up with somebody, I do it for love of myself. And actually, I think one of my favorite songs by Selena Gomez kind of talks about this. I have some poetry that I haven't published yet because, yeah, it's like I still have some political poetry, but I'm getting back into the other emotions. But living a life as a disabled black woman, politics is my everyday because they are throwing rocks at all of my demographic. They don't touch the able-bodied white man, straight and everything. They don't break that. That's like pristine, like not a chip of paint or like not a crack in the window, like nothing. That one is pristine. Well, mine is all, but yeah. But then you got the basic white colonizing, women out here. Yeah. Like, man, I'm just gonna call them toxics. I would call them Becky's, but yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's just call them toxics because they're so toxic. And I feel like a lot of them really need to look within themselves and examine their hearts and emotions. And also, I know why a lot of the colonizing white women do it, because, again, it's their privilege. They're used to getting what they want. They're used to getting away with gaslighting. They're used to, like, basically playing the field of being the main character where everyone has to do what they say, because the main character normally gets their happily ever after. They get exactly what they want. Everyone has, like, their plot goes around them. which is one reason why a lot of white women don't want to read books with main characters that are different than themselves. There's been studies on that too. So yeah, go look it up. And yeah, especially since I'm a writer, I've been studying this and reading about it. And so yeah, go yeah, do some research. So I don't know. It's like I think that's one reason, especially while I watch some of the YouTubers online, and sometimes when I pay attention to the books and characters, and especially when certain demographics taught say that politics are not in books, or politics are not in every book, and or leave politics out of books and things like that. When every character it's like, even when like the space and like just urban fantasy, science fiction, just like every book, you have a person living somewhere, and there, even if it's not a like, if it can be even a tribe. Tribes have culture. Tribes have their own type of governments. You know, some have the patriarchy, but some don't, and some have like the ways of like with the hair, and I mean that's part of their governance as well, because it's like if you're single or married or a leader or not, and just so yeah, I pay a lot of attention to those details and those things, and it matters. And when it comes to heartbreak and divorce and relationships, in some countries you're not able to get divorced. In some countries you are assigned your spouse, and you don't get to fall in love with them. You have to train yourself to love them. Sometimes it might end up as falling in love, but when you're forced to be with them, I feel like it's more of a training. It's like, because now you're getting to know somebody, and then you have to be intimate with somebody that you hardly even, yeah, I don't know, that to me just. And but at the same time, if you're of that culture and that's what you want to do, and that's your like, hey, babies, do what you do. Okay, yeah, I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying, like, there's cultures and there's different governance, and like all around the world, people have go by different laws and things like that, and rituals and stuff. But when it comes to relationships, especially, that goes like all around the world. It's like it's different traditions, even with dating, because even in, I believe it's China or Japan, they have it where parents, is they have instead of job fairs, it's dating fairs. And they're outside, and other parents with single kids go out there and they read the people's postings, and they talk about each other's kids to try to set each other's kids up on dates. Oh, thank God, my parents didn't. Oh, like no, they don't know my type, and they would have never set me up with somebody that I would have been attracted to. No, yeah, that would have been like a trained. And yeah, you guys already know about one of the church guys, or you know about a couple, but especially the one where my mom tried to like force me to stay with, and told me that if I didn't marry him, and it's like I didn't tell the story about when the one night when she realized that I was just done. I did not want to be with this guy anymore. And she told me that I would not be able to live there because she liked this guy that much. Like, she liked him more than she liked me. So part of me is just like, if his mom is willing to trade, maybe I can live where he lives and he can live over here. I don't like, yeah, because the way my mom treated me, I didn't, yeah. I was like, deal, deuces, whatever, bye. But dating is difficult. Finding love is complicated. And knowing who you're going to be years from now, or even learning the type of relationship that you want to be long term, because some people decide that they want untraditional of your culture, of what majority around you do. Sometimes it's so that they feel special. Sometimes it's so for them to have control. I mean, there's so many different reasons. But some people who want that special, unique, or different type of relationship, they only want it for them. They don't want it for the other party. Because if the other party does that, no, no, no. No. Because now they're going to be in competition. And so, if you're going to be in a relationship, like, think long term. If you think you're going to be compatible with somebody, and this is why I say in so many episodes, ask the political questions, ask the couple questions, like, ask the kinky questions. Yeah, because like I said, I've studied sexology, and especially watching divorce court and some of the court cases whenever it's relationship related, oh, like the intimacy is a lot of times the issue, and the way that each party complains about it, and how the sexology leads up to even communication, because people don't understand how vital communication is within the, like, sexual part of the bond of the marriage of the boyfriend girlfriend, stuff like that, or just relationship, because it could be boyfriend boyfriend girlfriend girlfriend, so I would just say, and I know for especially Generation Z, you guys are young, you're learning. All I have to say is learn as much about yourself as possible. And I keep saying, get a journal, or like, if you can, if you have a job, to get a therapist, or if you're still, I think it's until the age of 25, you're under your parents' health insurance. So if you can get a couple years of that, of some health of therapy, get that, and maybe let them know that you're trying to get yourself ready, so you know the type of person, the type of guy that will be good with your heart. Don't say other half. You're a full, whole person. Don't look for the other half. You want to be happy and fulfilled by yourself. Because if something happens, either direction, breakup or whatever, you don't want to feel like half of you is gone. And this is another reason why I say, at least get a part-time job, or figure out a way to even make things from home and sell on Etsy. Try to at least have somewhat of a bag, or at least get a prenup. And for every year you work, like, count that as like a salary. So if he tries to leave you or break up or whatever, it's like, bam, you have money to take with you, and you're not homeless on the street. But know who you are, know who your heart desires. And I know I've mentioned this a few times over the last few months, but yes, some of you ladies, you want the 6 foot tall, six figure, six pack guy, and but like I said, yeah, look for the future. Is he gonna make you laugh? Because six packs doesn't equal funny. And a lot of the muscular men and a lot of the 6 foot men depend on their figure. That's like, women look for that. They see them, but they don't see who they are inside. And so my advice is, yes, physically you might have a type, but at the same time, who is going to make sure you're happy throughout life? Who is going to offer to clean their dish at night, or clean the dishes after dinner? Or if you love the reality shows, who's going to cuddle up, or even come over with some of your favorite snacks, cuddle up and watch your favorite reality shows or anime? Yeah, for me, it'll be anime or Disney or whatever, but you know. But if you are going to break up with somebody, prepare. Because, okay, I'm going to give some examples, Because, yeah, every time I've broken up with somebody, I was happy. It was kind of like inside out, it was a mixture because I was furious happy, sad happy, contemplating. But I was more contemplating on it. Why did I waste so much time? But then I had to remember and remind myself where I was at the time and how no one believed in me, no one cared for me, no one showed any sign of me deserving love and or me being good enough. And I know the toxic hater in my life right now, who I will say right now, if you stop looking me up, watching my videos, saying very hurtful, awful things, because the thing is, I've heard these hurtful things so many times that it was more like a tap. But at the same time, if you said that about me, you would say anything to anybody that was evil, vile, and vicious. And you want to tell me what I need to do, what I have to do. But you're using your white privilege because you want to get away with being able to be vile and vicious and hurtful. And you want to gaslight. And you have the nerve to say, "Oh, well, I don't want my kids to hear." You don't want them to hear the truth? You don't like that the world will be able to hear exactly what you do and say? Because, honey, baby, I only tell the truth. I only tell my opinion of you from my perspective, from your actions. So I will give you this deal right now. If you leave me alone, because I don't care about, honey, do you live your life, be happy, find your love, because you already have a, yeah. So love that person. Love your life. Find fulfillment. Fill your heart. Why bother me when I never, I didn't do anything. But instead you do things in a very threatening way. But then you want me to just be quiet about it, or you don't want me to tell the world about it. So I'm just going to give you this deal right now. If you leave me alone, I'm not taking the videos down. Baby, no, you don't know me. Because it's not fair that you can do the actions, but karma and consequences can't. But I will say, if you leave me alone, I will not bring up what you do. Because, yeah, if there's nothing to bring up, I won't say it. Okay? Deal? Okay, well, of course, I'm not going to hear your answer now, but we'll see what happens. But when you call someone with a disability out of their name in a derogatory term, and then you just yell out someone's address and government name, how dare you? But then you gaslight. You gaslight through. So I'm making a deal with you. Because when I break up with somebody, I celebrate. I'm happy. I'm doing it because it's going to make my life better. Maybe you should have thought of that before you broke up. That, yeah, you might regret your actions now because you didn't look ahead. You found an absolutely amazing, tremendously, just giving, compassionate, empathetic man. But then Yeah. I see, I'm that nice. I'm not gonna say everything. I'm not. I didn't like I would have never said any of your story. I would not have said any of it. But then when I find that you keep trying to attack me through him, but then when, yeah, you start listening to my channel and start saying mean things about me and that I'm dumb and all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. But now you hear that I'm talking about you. Because, yeah, you say I'm so dumb. But now you say you don't like that I'm telling your story. Yeah, You say I'm dumb, but yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna say, stop. Okay, okay. And so back to when I break up with somebody, I I try to do it the blunt way. I know with Mr. No Heart, I I couldn't because he wasn't calling me anyway. And that's the funny thing. He is one of those guys who he's even when you ask him to do things, he's not going to do it until he thinks you're going to break up with him. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, baby, here, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah, I bought you a laptop with your money. That the money I owe you. Oh yeah. Oh no, I'll cancel it, but I'm gonna give you my computer. Don't you want my used computer? Yeah, don't you want that? That'll make me look good to my family because I'm gonna brag about that to my family if I give you my computer and everything. Even though every other Christmas you only gave me a stuffed animal, but you're gonna give me something big because you want to try to sound like a man where no, you're not a man at all. Yeah. But then the other thing, I asked him to just call me. I got tired of the only times he called me is when he wanted to borrow money, which he never paid me back. Okay, so if he ever listens to this episode, you know how much you owe me for the business and gas. For the business and gas. And you need to tell your mother about the time where you forced me and yeah, you forced me to go because I was gonna like he gaslit. It was kind of like a combination of force and gaslighting and everything like that because he said if I didn't go camping with him, I must not love him and everything. I had to go up north camping with him because he wanted his daughters to spend some time with his grandmother, and don't I want them to spend some time with their grandmother and things? Because he didn't have enough money, because he was broke, because he didn't know how to save enough money, and he kept going to get 420. He chose 420 over his daughters. Yeah. Yeah. And so every time he needed a debit card or credit card, he put his hand out for me. But I had to do it in a nonchalant way so they couldn't see it, so they couldn't watch. Telling me that I can't ever tell them this, which I wasn't, but now I'm to see this is the kind of stuff I tell the world. Once you try to put me down, once you try to like just use me and things like that, yeah. Once you try to say derogatory names and yeah, that's when. But when I broke up with him, he acted like it was all my fault. Like I was selfish, like I was not supposed to. Because even when my mother passed away, he refused to go to the funeral. But he acted like I was just supposed to get over it. I was so upset. And then when I had my surgery, I begged him, literally begged him. He refused. If you guys been listening, you already know about this. Just imagine, like, you don't know how happy I was the day where, the thing is, I didn't text them that I broke up. I was like, you know what? Because remember, I went on that phone strike. It's like March 1st and April 2nd, because remember, from all of March, I did not text him a thing, did not call, text, or whatever. But then April 1st. I texted him, I was like, "Are you okay? Are you good?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm good or whatever. Oh, do you want to talk? Talk to me." I'm like, "No, I got my fix." That's literally what I said. "No, I got my fix." So then, starting April 2nd, I did not text or call. April, May, June, July 10th, right around July 10th. That's when he finally texts me, not even call, text. This is during COVID, but still, no. He could have called, emailed, he could have Zoomed. There are so many different things he could have done, but he's no good, lazy punk of a guy. And he didn't realize during that time I was already breaking up. I'm done. Like, so after he finally texted me and I was basically like, "No, I'm good. We're done." He was blaming me. He's upset with me. And then even with the whole Black Lives Matter, is like his mother starts calling me racist for being like for liking Black Lives Matter. Because when I told her the police story, she said, "Well, the police officer, he just like he had to pull you over. You're so beautiful." Mm. And then the other time when the police officer followed me all the way home. Oh, well, it's like maybe he was just trying to make sure you got there safe. No, he said I didn't look like I lived there. Yeah, he was being racist. Then he said it's because my brake lights didn't work, but surprise, just got an oil change. And you know how a lot of the oil change places, they have that checklist. He checked my brake lights. They worked fine. That was the week prior. The week prior, okay, what's the percentage of the brake lights? And then even the next day, I told my dad in tears after what had happened because the police officer blocked me in the driveway, turned on the lights, and then like questioned me for like 20 to 30 minutes or whatever. Might have been longer than that, but I just remember crying and being emotional and just frustrated or whatever. But yeah, my dad went outside, grabbed a brick, put it on the brake, worked perfectly fine. Nothing was wrong with my car. But when I told my ex's mom that story, "Oh, he was just trying to make sure you got there safe." No, no. Hmm. But maybe I need to do a whole series about each time I broke up with a guy and my thoughts. Because sometimes I had low self esteem, but I was proud of myself and I was happy. And even though I didn't love myself, it was out of love that I broke up with that person because I know they were not doing me any good. My ex, Mr. No Heart, only dated me for how he could take advantage of me. And I think he enjoyed that his no good, bigoted mother of a racist, stupid, ignorant, egotistical, just, I think he loved how majority of his family looked at me as just the black girl. Black girl has to be less than everybody else because whenever they would have a conversation, or even when I remember having like my ex's mom's grandchild, okay, basically my ex's nephew, we were talking or whatever, and I started talking about investing, and he was just like, "Oh, my dad doesn't even talk to me about this stuff," and he seemed really interested in it, and so we're talking whatever, and I'm just saying like some of the things that I started and some of the things I researched and found or whatever. And I told him once he got a job, I listed some of the things that, and but I was like, ask your dad. I'm not your parent, but I was like, since you're about to be graduating soon, here's A, B, and C. So at least these are some options for you. And I remember when he talked to his dad and my ex, they were just like, "What? How do you like?" Because my ex was like, "Yeah," like when it came to investing, he was irritated with me because he acted like since I'm black, I'm not supposed to know about that. Then he didn't want me to do it. But then once he started looking stuff up, he was telling me how to invest my money. He was telling me how to use my money, even though he still owed me. He owes me thousands of dollars because remember the business and the gas and yeah. So, but anyways, I'm gonna have another part to this. But if you break up with somebody, be happy when you do it. Come to a close. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.